Somewhere in Japan, a very troubled Nintendo worker scurried through the halls of Shigeru Miyamoto's manor. He could hear Miyamoto's laughter ringing through the hallways, and women's voices seemed to be the source of the Zelda creator's glee. Finally, the disgruntled worker burst out of the house and onto the back patio of Miyamoto's home. Here, Miyamoto sat by the pool, 3 women at his sides. "Mr. Miyamoto!" the worker yelled, flailing his arms as he was known to do. "What?" Miyamoto snapped, displeased with being disturbed. The tittering women at his sides frowned at the intruder, pouting cutely. "Sir, are those women cosplayers?" Indeed they were. One was dressed as Princess Zelda, another as Malin, and the third as Flannery from the Pokemon games. "Yes!" "Right. Anyway, Mr. Miyamoto, sir..." Miyamoto cut him off. "Miyamoto-sama!" he corrected, making the Nintendo worker recoil. "I'm sorry, Miyamoto-sama. How silly of me to forget. You only created the Zelda Empire," the worker said, bowing his head in respect. Yes, I did. Continue." The women tittered again, cooing at Miyamoto and praising his genius. "I just came from Nintendo, Miyamoto-sama. It turns out that a few thousand of our game cartridges were malfunctioning." Miyamoto raised an eyebrow. "Oh?" "Yes, sir. When one begins to press the start button on one's Nintendo 64, the cartridge in the game system reacts to open up a rift to Hyrule." The cosplayers all giggled and scoffed at this idea, but Miyamoto pondered this over for a moment. We have their money already. Who cares about a few thousand kids getting killed off in Hyrule? Don't bother with a recall." The women agreed with this statement joyously. Meanwhile, miles and time zones away, Chiron began to pound on the button of her Nintendo 64 rapidly, whining about how she had seen the start screen for the Ocarina of Time countless times before. "God damn it!" she shouted. Still, the television and game system refused to speed up the process. Frustrated, Chiron brushed some of her golden blonde hair from her shimmering blue eyes. Her hair fell unbound down her back in soft waves to her waist, but she pulled it up in a high ponytail. Her natural highlights mixed nicely with the rest of her shining locks. "Motherfucker!" she continued, pounding ever harder on the poor controller. Suddenly, the screen froze up and went black. "Oh, balls," she said, pouting prettily. Of course, Chiron ignored the fact that Nintendo 64 has been out for a good number of years, and it wasn't uncommon for the older ones to freeze up occasionally. Still, she spouted obscenities at the inanimate object, disregarding how silly this really was. Not that her Nintendo cared much, the hatred was mutual. As if to answer her pleas to work again, a glowing ball of blue light popped up on the previously all-black screen. "Hey!" it shouted. "OMG, WTF!" Chiron interjected, flailing her arms in a comical manner. "What the fuck are you, and why are you talking to me?" she demanded. "My name is Navi the Fairy." Chiron opened her mouth to speak, but had to shut again, albeit with a mental note to hurt the bitch fairy when she got the chance, when Navi continued. "I've come here because the goddesses chose you to help Link. Apparently our hero of time is incompetent and needs the help of a pampered 16-year-old girl to defeat Ganon. Again." "Really?" Chiron squealed. Navi just jingled as she floated away. In her place there was a swirling vortex of red and black light. Chiron tried to escape this swirling tunnel, but it managed to suck her into the television. The tunnel contracted and heaved as it tried to expel her through its other side, and her body slid easily over its warm, lubricated sides. After a while, the tunnel opened, and Chiron fell onto the ground with a sound to accompany her. Upon landing, she looked around. The sky was dark red, the clouds were black, and there were spirals in the sky. She stood in a large, sloping field, and she could see a castle to the north. A stream gurgled by to her immediate right. "Oh my God, I'm in Hyrule!" she announced. As if by impulse, she looked down at the back of her left hand. A golden triangle, the point facing her, glowed in her skin. "Oh my God, I'm the holder of the 4th piece of the Triforce!